Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Strand Tennis Center podcast, filled with tips, advice, tennis, not tennis, just life advice too, whatever you need. Like it on YouTube, share it on the podcast as well. Thank you.
Ready, Georgie? All right, everybody, welcome to the Strand Tennis Center podcast, little fitness podcast today. We've been through this before, but I want to go over not mine, but I use a lot of it. I'll interject with what I do. It's a fitness and health blueprint that everybody should be a part of. So there's like 5 very important things in regards to fitness, and then we'll go into each one of them. So stability is hugely important. That's number 1. Strength, number 2. Aerobic exercise, anaerobic, and recovery. So if you can kind of have a holistic view, have great stability, great strength, aerobic, anaerobic, and recovery, you're going to be a pretty fit person. So let's go through this. Stability. There is a thing called DNS. There's dynamic neuromuscular stabilization. They're balance exercises, basically. So you can look up DNS, and you can do tons of balance exercises. It really helps you. I'll wake up in the morning, part of my protocol. I'll stand on one foot for 30 seconds. I'll stand on the other foot for 30 seconds. I'll have one foot in the front of the other for 30 seconds and flip those around. But I'll do it with my eyes closed, which is very, very helpful. Work on balance and stability. Hugely important. So just look up DNS. Look up all these exercises. There are a lot of baby exercises. You'll find that babies move in such a way that we can't move anymore because their flexibility, their stability is incredible, and you'll just mimic a lot of those exercises. Strength training. There's a 3x5 protocol, which is great for strength training. You want to do 3 to 5 reps of the muscle for 3 to 5 days a week. So pretty simple. You want to do chest and arms 3 days a week. 3 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 exercises, legs and back, all of those things, 3 to 5, 3 to 5. So 3 to 5 days a week, 3 to 5 exercises, set 3 to 5 reps. I'll do exactly that. I'll probably do upper body 3 days a week. I'll do lower body 3 days a week. And I'll do core I'll do core inside of that 3 days a week. So if you can do that, you're going to be able to build muscle. You know, they were again, it's huge. Everybody's getting involved in strength and stability. Strength is very important for longevity because you need a strong skeletal system. If you're not strong, you start to break things. And people hurt themselves more walking down steps than walking up step. You know, people come off a curb and they break their hip all the time. So you need strength and stability. So, and you try to increase your weekly load. Hopefully you can do it maybe by 10 pounds. If you can increase your weekly load by 10 pounds, that'd be great. So if you're doing, 90 pounds on chest, you do 100 the next week if you can. So try to increase it every 10 pounds a week. So aerobic exercise. Long cardio exercise at a long rate. I do a lot of zone 2 training. So what I'll do is, and it's great for your mitochondria health, it's great for longevity. I do about 75, 80 minutes a week at a heart rate about 130, 140. So you can do 4 sessions of 45 minutes. Sometimes I'll do 7 days a week at 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So if you can get your heart rate, and again, a zone 2 training is where I can talk to George if I'm talking and I can still run. So my heart rate, I'm not at a capacity where I can't breathe. I'm at a capacity where I can talk, or you can go on a nice long hike for an hour. That's a great zone 2 training workout, which is really healthy for you. So you're trying to build Peter Attia said this, you're trying to build the base of the pyramid. So the base of the pyramid is your zone 2. So the base of this pyramid here is your zone 2 training. Up the top is going to be your VO2 max and all that. So you got to establish this nice base and start to do that. I try to run maybe maybe an hour, maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles a day. I do it slow, so it's like 25, 30 minutes. It works out to zone 2 for the week. Anaerobic exercise or any movements require short bursts. So anaerobic would be tennis. It would be weightlifting, jumping, any kind of thing like that, jump rope, higher interval training. So you want to incorporate this. This is like a zone 3 or a zone 5 where you're maxing out your heart rate. There's a minimum effective dose you can do this at. I do this for only 6 or 8 minutes a week, and I do it twice a day. So I'll do it 3 minutes. So I'll go on an assault bike, and I'll do 20 seconds as fast as I can, like I'm being chased by some sort of large animal. And then I will go slow for 40 seconds, or at a regular moderate pace. Then I will go hard for 20, and I will go slow for 40. And if I can get the rest part back to nasal breathing, that's pretty good. So if you can blow it out for 20 seconds as fast as you can, you're going to go to mouth breathing there. Then if you can go to nasal breathing for 40 seconds, in that 40 seconds, you're in pretty good shape. So try to do that. Try to do your aerobic training, zone 2, 45-minute sessions, 4 days a week, whatever you need to do, however you slice it. And then just do 3. You can do 3 rounds, 2 rounds of the 3 to 5 minutes or the 6 minutes of 20 seconds on, 40 seconds kind of mid-range. So then you get into the recovery section of this. So we went over stability, DNS, strength training, the 3x5 protocol, aerobic training, zone 2, anaerobic, zone 3, 3 times, 3 minutes a week. 3-minute sessions 3 times a week. And then recovery. Recovery is great because it's very healthy for you. They did a Finnish study. Number 1 is the dry sauna. The Finnish study showed how well it helps against stroke and blood flow. So the minimum effective dose on that is 57 minutes a week. You can do 4 sessions, 20 minutes a week. I go every day, 10 minutes. So 10 minutes a day, so that's about 60 minutes. You can get the sauna about over 175. It'd be great if it was 195. That's a great way to recover. I usually do it after I work out. And like Andrew Huberman's talked about this. Andy Galpin's talked about this. We're going to go into the ice bath too, but you're going to do the sauna probably after you work out. You're going to do the ice bath before you work out if you're learning to build, if you want to build muscle mass, because it blunts hypertrophy, the ice bath, even 8 hours after. So ice bath, 11 minutes a week, 40 to 50 degrees. Even if I found it effective when it gets in the summertime. Even if it's 60 degrees, you're in there for longer, it's still very helpful. You want to move your limbs inside the ice bath as well. A lot of people stand there stoic like they're a statue, and it actually doesn't make it colder. You want to move. You want to move your legs and arms. It makes it even colder, makes it very hard. Step out in the dry air for 10 or 20 seconds and let yourself shiver. It creates thermogenesis. It makes you heat up. That'll help you with metabolism a bit. It's not a ton, but it'll help you burn calories. I'll go through the benefits. Submersion. When you submerge your head, it helps lower your blood pressure. So going in all the way, just dunking yourself in, will help lower your blood pressure. You have blood pressure issues. And again, the immersion releases dopamine and spikes your cortisol early. Cortisol late in the day leads to a lot of depression. You want to spike that cortisol, and that will help do it. It'll spike, and then it'll lower throughout the day. Your cortisol will be higher in the morning, and you want it to lower throughout the day. And if you do the ice bath, it will help. It will help do that. So what I'll do is I'll wake up, and Joe Rogan used to say this. He goes, I used to have coffee, do all this bullshit, and avoid it. You get right up and get in there. It sucks. I wake right up. I throw some ice. I go right into an ice bath, and it really sucks. And it doesn't get any easier, I think. Going into, especially, I have a tub outside, especially when it's the wintertime and you have to crack the frozen ice and go in there. It ain't fun. It's not a feeling of getting excited, but I don't go to sleep at night. Can't wait to get up. But like Huberman said when he had David Goggins on, which is great, there's something in your brain that helps you with longevity if you do things you hate. So if you have to go see family, or if you're forced to go somewhere that you don't want to go see, it's good for you. Do the things you hate. So when you wake up and don't want to do something and you do it, it actually is good for your brain and good for your longevity. So waking up, getting a 5-pound weight, which I get, or a 10-pound weight, and cracking the ice is not something I'm looking forward to. But the after, and to me, it's the best ROI on feeling good. Like, you feel like crap, you wake up, it takes a while to get going. You go in the ice bath for 2 minutes, you wake up, and the ROI on that is ridiculous. You'll feel incredible most of the day. And it just takes 2 minutes. Instead of getting up, getting your coffee, waking up, getting my day ready. I don't know. Sometimes it takes forever to get going. This will wake you up right away. Your blood pressure, that's a blood pressure thing. That's no big deal. But it is a big deal. But if you can get your blood pressure 120/80, that's probably an optimal number. Breathing. So when I get out of the ice bath, I'll do a lot of that Wim Hof breathing, the hyperventilation breathing. Again, don't do the hyperventilation breathing in the water. Too many people pass out and die. That is not good. We're not here to die. You ever do the ventilation breathing, George? No? No. Not in the bath. No, yeah. Ventilation breathing is breathing to the max, inhale up and release. So you're breathing in through your nose as much as you can, and then you're just releasing through your mouth. But you don't push out, you just release. And you do that 30 or 40 times, and you hold your breath at the end. You'll get nice and dizzy. And that has many health properties that I won't go into, but do it. And you can do a box breathing technique after you work out. It's 4 in, hold for 4, release for 4, hold for 4. So you can do that too. Yeah. It's great, right?
If you're ever like upset or in a mood, like
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah. You ever do the other one? What helps you relax is the sneak breath that Huberman talks about. You breathe in, and you take another breath, and you release. So you breathe in, sneak another one, and then release. It actually relaxes you as well. Yeah, it's pretty. It helps. And then the last one is a 4-7-8 breathing technique by Dr. Andrew Wild, which is you breathe in for 4, you hold for 7, you release for 8. Those kind of techniques will help you relax. Health. All right, we'll go through some health thing. That was fitness. There's sleep, which is key, nutrients, light, exercise, relationships. So this is definitely from a lot of Huberman stuff. Sleep is key. Once I got to 7 or 8 hours is very important. Getting anything under that for me really is tough. And again, you don't have to be like a psychopath. I'll go to bed at 11 and get up at 7, right? 6:30. I mean, that's a full day. I mean, you don't have to be a psychopath about, people sleep 4 hours, 3 hours. I never see it work. Some people like Jim Collins says his sleep helps because he can nap. It's a total hours of sleep. He feels like he doesn't need 7 or 8 hours a day, but he can sleep if it's, say, I don't know, 35 hours a week or 49 hours a week. If I get that, no matter how it is, it's okay. I can't really do that. I like the 7.5 to 8. And going to bed at 11, getting up at 7 is fine. Or even 6:30. So sleep is key. And again, try to fall asleep. I try to fall asleep. So, yeah, it's usually that time between 10:30 and 11 is key. Getting in bed and getting to sleep. Anything later than that is a little bit of trouble for me. Nutrients, I take a bunch of different nutrients. Light, exercise. So we'll go through this. So supplements in regards to nutrients. Number 1, I take creatine every day. I do 5 mgs, which is key. All the studies have been debunked about hair loss and kidneys and all that stuff. It's probably the highest studied supplement out there, and there's really no negative effects. Take 5 mg. It's great for your cognitive function too. Great for your brain as well. So I just put that in a shake. What I do in a shake. You do shake, George, every morning? I do a shake. I do a plant-based. I did 25 grams of plant-based protein. I do collagen, which is great for your skin and hair. I do turmeric. I do cocovia, which is great for your blood pressure, which is made by Mars, actually. It's really good. Then I'll put in the creatine. Oh, my God, what else? Blueberries and banana. And then wheat, Sherman flax. It's insane, but it's fun. So all of those things I find are very healthy for you. The collagen is very healthy for your bones and your skin. What else do? I do that. I'm going over my nutrients. Then I take a bunch of, I take omega-3. I take D, and I take something called NAC, which is really good for, if you have a cold, take NAC. It really will help you. It will clean out your system, clean out your airways, clean out your lungs. I take also, what else do I take? I take Q10, which is great for your heart as well. And I take DHEA, which is a great hormone. But other than that, I just try to eat right. And I try to have, the hard part is having enough protein, right? It's supposed to be 1 gram per pound of body weight, which is hard. So if you're 170, you got to have 170 grams of protein. It's hard to do. The FDA amount is just so you don't die. It's like nothing. It's like 45, 50. You should probably get it up there as high as you can. So I try to have 2 protein shakes, which is 50, and then I try to eat protein-based foods, which is like, I I stick to pretty much vegetarian, so I have like a tofu and things like that, and I do eat eggs. I'll eat eggs, but then water. Drink a lot of water. So I try to drink. You're supposed to drink your body weight in ounces. So if I'm 165, you're supposed to drink 165 ounces, but it's hard to do sometimes. So you're trying to drink as much water as you can. Workout, I try to drink about 5 ounces for every 15 minutes of body weight divided by 30. So I try to drink 4 or 5 ounces when I'm working out. Protocols here, what do I got? I start with 16 ounces in the morning. 3 hours before you sleep, water intake, you start sipping it. That's what Huberman says. You don't drink as much. Eat whole foods. Prehydrate. And I take Element a lot, too. You ever take Element, LMNT? It's just, it's good. Because it doesn't have any sugar, but it's got potassium and sodium, which I need, especially after the sauna and things like that. But I went through a lot of stuff here. I mean, there's so many other things you can go through. They do this. There's an interesting little way to handle a couple of other things I'll go over. A lot of people eat fermented food. Sauerkraut is great to eat. Things like that. Pickles, those are great to eat. I get blood work done once a year. But evenings, 3-2-1 sleep technique, which is interesting. They say 3 hours before bed, don't eat. 2 hours before, don't drink. 1 hour before, don't use your phone. That's really a great little technique, 3-2-1. So 3 hours before, don't eat. 2 hours before, don't drink. 1 hour before, don't use. Brian Johnson is a little crazy. You know who Brian Johnson is? He's this guy that has, been tested out the wazoo, who's doing, like, he doesn't eat until, he eats at 12:30, doesn't eat the whole day. You got to look him up. He's like, he's got a whole thing, Don't Die. He's got this crazy thing. He's got every organ tested, and he's doing, he took his plasma and gave it to his father, and his son gave him his plasma and all this. Yeah, crazy stuff. But hopefully these protocols will help. Maybe it'll give you some ideas of what to do. Just start with one thing. There's a lot of things. Why don't you just start doing some balance exercise? Stand on one foot, close your eyes, right? Do something like that. Take a cold shower. Do it that way. Start with a hot shower and just cool it off at the end. Do that for 30 seconds. The thing is to start. Do something. The problem is we get overwhelmed with all of these things. We don't do anything. It's like when people say, I'm going to be a vegan, and then you can't do that. I found it impossible. Do something 80%, and you'd be very successful at it. If you did 80% of stability, strength, aerobic, anaerobic recovery, you'd be great. So don't be overwhelmed by it. I would just start with one thing. And then do another thing. But take your time and don't be so hard on yourself. And that's the biggest thing. Especially these New Year's resolutions, we do say we're going to do all these things, and then we don't do the 20th thing and we quit everything. I would just do one thing. And like we've always said, and we say this on this podcast, think of the 1% rule. Your job is to be 1% better a week. That's it. And then if you do that, you're 52% better. If I was 52% better at the end of anything for a year, I'd be pretty happy. So think about the 1% rule and start there. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Hey, everybody. Hope you like the podcast. Please share it with your friends, anybody that you know, anybody that's into tennis, anybody that's into bettering themselves. Share it.